So now we'll turn it over to Clark Kooning, MMR, for the after show. Clark, it's all yours.
Woohoo! It's the after show with some life. Gee, I heard last week's. I thought it was the after death show. Come on, you guys.
Nobody wanted to take the lead.
Oh, well, you know, you got to jump in. Both feet sometimes. Oh, yeah. Oh, somebody said to me, hey, Clark, why don't you turn the lights on in the back? I said, no, I have a face for radio. All right, now, Ted, are you still on? What's the first question of the night? Ted, what's for dinner?
I don't know.
Okay, there's the usual answer.
You had that last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm in a rut.
Hey, that was an interesting discussion on the P48. That was some neat stuff. And Dave and I believe it's Jeff. Thanks for that, for those info there.
It's James for those.
Oh,
of
James,
us.
sorry. I want to say
For
Jeff.
those of us.
I'm
for those of us
completely
that were paying
offended.
All right. And the kid.
Yeah,
Um,
that's it.
but you know, it's true. I think somebody else touched on it too about modeling space. You know, if you only have a small shelf, if you, like, people say to me, oh, I don't know what scale I should go into or what should I do, and I say, well, what's your interest? If your interest is running trains, well, maybe you should look at N scale. If your interest is in building stuff, you may want to really look at you know, O scale, because you can build with great detail. And now I mean, I heard a couple of the guys go, oh, and I know Paul Thompson goes, oh, I love looking at building track. Well, I'm not a track modeler. I'm a model railroader. I want to build the whole thing. So thanks, Dave.
You're welcome.
And so that's just my own personal preference. But I know some guys who just love to spend time on their track work. And boy, P48, that you can do that for sure. So it's neat. All right. Have we got any new people here? Have we got real new people? Doesn't look like it. Well, John Reynolds, he's fairly new. And we heard from John. We got Daryl. We got.
Well, Jay's here. This is my first time.
Oh, well, you know, then Jay, tell us. I know you mentioned what you were doing in your little clinic there and helping with the guys, but tell us what you're modeling and where you are, and go from there.
Well, right now I'm getting.
Okay, thanks. That's enough. No.
No, that's good because I'm getting ready to take the wife to dinner. So.
Oh no, whereabouts are you then? Out on the West Coast?
Yeah, I'm Central California, right smack in the middle.
Oh, okay.
Far enough away from the crazies.
In today's world, I don't know if that's even far enough.
You know, like so many, I've been building models my whole life. Started when I was probably 5 years old. Got out of it when I was about 15 or 16 and got back into it when I turned 40 or so. Started out in HO. Well, actually started out in American Flyer and then HO. Got back into it. And when I got back in at 40, my eyesight was at the point where HO was too small, and got back in and started in O scale. And, you know, I enjoy building. I enjoy working on mechanisms and building drives for engines. Actually running them and all that kind of bores me. The second time around, I'm ready for a beer. But that's kind of what I enjoyed doing more than anything, was building drives and rebuilding old stuff to make it run better than the new stuff. But in all of that, I became friends with a gentleman named Lou Cross, lived up in Chowchilla, which is also here in Central California. And he owned a company called Right Away. It was started in 1963. by a guy named Levansel down in Southern California. And the thrust was to get rid of 172 rail. In O scale, that was kind of the standard, and Gene Levansel thought it was too big, so he came out with code 148. He was the first one to do it. And then he came up with 125. Well, he didn't come up with it, but he developed it. And code 100, and we actually have code 81 also. Everyone thinks code 83, but we have some code 81. Anyway, when Lou died in 2015, he left right away to me. Greatest honor probably of my life. You know, he was a World War II veteran, and left right away to me. So it became my number one emphasis to make sure that it's successful and to carry on his way of doing business, which is if someone contacts me and wants to order something, I ship it to them with an invoice and they pay me after they get the material. That's the old school way of doing it, but that's how Lou did it. So that's how I do it. You know, unless I take that back. If they go through the website, they can pay through PayPal too. But if someone calls and orders, I'll send it before I get the payment. All because of him and who he was. So all my drives and building things and working on layout has become secondary. Doing right away, developing it, adding to it, and even buying some of the competition is kind of taken over. But I'm having fun and I'm making friends, and that's what counts.
Yep. Excellent. Well, thank you for the synopsis, and hopefully you'll come back and join us a couple more times.
Yeah, I think actually the mentor program that Jim started, I think I was actually the first one to donate something.
Hmm.
I think way back when it was a parts or kit for a number 6 turnout.
Yeah, long time ago.
Yeah, we both had more hair then. Yeah, I'll probably be.
I enjoyed the conversation about P48. I've heard about it, but you hear bits and pieces. But to hear James and David really talk about it, and I know that they're into it 1,000%. So I knew that what they were saying was exactly what I could count on.
Right.
Well, sometimes you have to put a new battery in that hearing aid and you hear everything then.
Well,
but but Jim, what I've found over the years, it's people ask, let's say they ask a 3-rail guy about going to 2-rail, and he'll tell them everything that he's heard through the grapevine and myths and stories and everything else. And oftentimes it's not correct. You ask someone in O scale 2-rail like me about Proto 48, and we'll come up with all the reasons it can't be done. And, there's this problem and all these other issues. And the truth is it's usually not accurate is what I'm trying to say. Guys like James and his dad, they're out there living it and they're making it work. So it can be done.
And James and David both have been on the show before, actually operating their railroad. So when James and David say, the switches work, the cars go through them, the engines work, I mean, it's no big deal. We can do this. I have faith that that's the truth. And that's why I wanted to do this segment, because there's so much, in my opinion, hearing aid and all, there's just, it's bits and pieces out there.
Yep. That's true.
Well, that's not just not about, P48. It's about a lot of things in this hobby.
Sure.
And,
well,
people get into a way of doing stuff and then they think that's the only way or that's the correct way when not necessarily true. So
Well, we even do it with brands, someone likes Mike's Train House better than they like Atlas.
Yeah.
And they'll spread all the rumors and to substantiate why they went there.
Yeah.
The bottom line comes back to, hey, are you having fun? Does it work for you? That's all that counts.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Sure.
All right. Who else is on tonight that wants to yick and yak or say anything? Boy, you guys, come on. It's supposed to be exciting. It's an after show, not after life, as I said before.
You're doing a good job of it, Bert.
Oh, well, I'm trying to keep active here. How are you?
I would add my 2 cents worth, but you tell everybody not to listen to me.
No, because you are like, you plant the seed. You're like these Proto 48 guys. You plant the seed. And then you say, oh, you should look at this. And then you look at that. And then all of a sudden you're got knives and you're cutting paper models and
And what's wrong with that?
well, nothing, I guess.
Especially at the amount that it actually costs.
Oh, well, that I agree with. I totally agree there. But oh Jesus, it's just as I've said before many times, it's all these rabbit holes that you go down into these interesting and fascinating areas of model railroading. And then you all of a sudden look and say, gee, I spent a whole week on that other project and I could have been working on my layout.
Well, see, I don't have a layout, so
I know.
I don't have to worry about that.
I sometimes carry a sheet of 4x8 plywood around so I don't go down those rabbit holes.
But it's good to see you back on here.
Oh, well, thank you. I think I'm going to have to get that. Who wants to take over for like 2 minutes?
That would be Fran.
Well, Clark has just proven something to me. I'm not the only one that can have a lousy after show.
I heard that.
Those are quite the old pictures he's showing there.
I don't know. Is that Clark showing that?
I don't know who's showing that.
This is Fran. Am I still muted?
No, you're on now, Fran. Good.
Okay. A couple months ago, this came up on eBay, railway negative exchange, and I didn't want to buy it, but I wanted to get some information on it and maybe model it. Actually, I was challenged to model it. So I kind of Googled around railway negative exchange, and there's mention to them up until 2014 and then nothing. However, maybe this guy is selling the stuff on eBay, but he has no website and no other contact. So what I'm looking for is, one, if they're still around and how to contact them. The other thing is, if anybody is familiar with Hercules powder plant up in I think up around Richmond or Pittsburgh, anyway, somewhere around there in the 1930s, Hercules powder was processed. And I'd love to get some more photos of this and see what else they actually had. This is a really interesting looking contraption. Some guys say it looks like it may have been electric at one time. It may be gas and electric. I question whether it was third rail at one time because of this center mounting bracket there. So
Interesting.
yeah, so if anyone has anything on that railway negative exchange, or or on Hercules powder. I'm
Hercules-
gonna go to the, I have to try I guess the Cal State Railroad Museum to see if they have any indexes or engine information.
Hercules,
Did you try Googling it?
Oh, yeah.
Nothing. And you found nothing?
Nothing. I found a lot of forums that mention it up until 2014. In like 98, the guy who collected these 200,000 photos and something like 80,000 railroad negatives, many of them glass, passed away in 98, I think. And his nephew took over. And there's mention of him up until 2014. After that, he's kind of disappeared. And so I'll keep trying, but Googling didn't help. I'm hoping that maybe the State Railway Museum has some files on Hercules.
Be an interesting model though, for sure.
Fran, Hercules powder was in Wilmington, Delaware.
Hercules powder was all over. It was also in Long Beach, California.
No.
My wife worked for them for a while, one point.
Well, we know they're definitely in somewhere around Pittsburgh, California. They were definitely in Long Beach. In Long Beach, they actually, in the 1920s, they actually harvested seaweed to get their, to process it into one of the components of gunpowder. I forget the name of the component. In Northern California here, I'm not sure what all they did, but if you look behind this this photo, that is, I think, obviously a cooling tower, and it's a pretty big cooling tower. So I'm not sure, what process they used in this plant.
Something else I would like to point out with these old photographs, things you can pick up. Like I just noticed the hinge detail on these doors with the straps bolted into the brick.
Yeah, and
Just some interesting details, and the texture there. That's cool.
Yeah, and it looks like a metal, maybe a fireproof door or something. Can't really read anything other than 74A over that. But perhaps, I guess everything was made as explosion proof as possible at those plants.
It's in a massive evaporator in the background too.
Yeah.
Actually, usually one wall was designed to actually blow out.
Yeah. Or the roof.
I worked at a GM plant, and they had outside of where they did the painting, it was trucks and cars. There was a lot of paint. They had a paint mix room that was basically block on three sides towards the plant and glass out to the back, and it was designed to blow out. So I imagine that exact same thing in a lot of those places as well.
So there's where I'm at this point on the model.
3D printed?
Yes,
Nice.
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 it's getting there. Thanks.
Yeah,
What are you gonna use for power?
Right now, the main frame there, the center frame, is designed out for a Bachmann ON30 streetcar drive, trolley drive. I'll see how that works out.
Nice.
On the photo, there's very little they can see on the interior. It's just these controls, and maybe there's a box or something seat in the back. But for to get the DCC and speakers and all in it, I'm gonna try to extend this hood through the cab and come back where I can get a little more wiring in and out And the same in the back here. There will be a cabinet or a motor cover or some console cover there that will help with the DCC.
Do you know what gauge the prototype?
I do not. I'm suspecting standard gauge, but I don't know. It's just hard to tell with this particular, the angle of this thing. That's why I wanted to get some info on the Hercules Powder Company. You'll see, I mean, I can find Googling, I can find some steam engines that say Hercules Powder. But like I say, the Hercules Powder was in many places with, you know, after World War I and with World War II coming on. You know, I don't know if it was like franchised or one huge corporation, but if I could find what it was all about in this particular spot. So if anyone hears anything, let me know. You can see this thing looks like it was probably rebuilt a couple times or maybe even home built. Look at all these empty holes on the side frame. Something else was there.
I mean, if you look at the back of where it says under railway, it looks like it's a solid piece. And then looking on the other end, there's I want to say maybe the front crossbeam and all that, which I want to say originally was square, but maybe it was involved in an accident. And when they rebuilt it, it went from electric to I'm assuming petrol.
Yeah. This drop down here in the back may be covering a chain drive. And it also, I don't know, someone said it kind of reminded them of an electric drive, like a GE electric drive.
Yeah, and not only that, the electrical part doesn't look as damaged. Looks like the front of it has been hit many a times.
Yeah. Okay, I'll let you carry on here.
Thank you.
Well, thanks very much. That was interesting. All right. So I am back. Actually, this is my front. I'm a trained professional. I know this. Okay, let's see. Who else have we not heard?
I thought you were a trained amateur.
Well, actually, no, I won't even go there.
There's no way he was trained. You can't train that.
Hey!
What?
A's for horses. What time have we got? All right, well, we'll go to 9:45 on the recording probably.
He's trained for paper cuts.
Did you ever notice when you're in gallery mode, it looks a lot like what's that, Square of Stars, or what was that game show that used to be where they had the guys in different squares up and down?
Oh, yeah.
Hollywood Squares. Yeah.
Hollywood Squares, yeah. Well, somebody said like on the Brady Bunch, you know, that TV show, when they first started, they were all in boxes, and they said, look, Zoom wasn't even invented then.
Hey, do you want to see some details I've been working on?
Yeah, sure.
Where do I want to?
How much snow did you guys get?
Didn't get a lot of snow, but 2 nights ago it was -40 or -30, sorry.
And that's Celsius for everybody. So.
Yeah, and that's pretty odd for us. So
yeah.
Did I do it right?
Yep, you're on.
Yeah. So this is just I started out being a general store. My wife said we should make a simple kit after all these complex ones. So I promised myself I wouldn't do an interior, and then built the kit and decided to do an interior, which took out more than the kit does. But so it's a combination of some details that they're all laser cut, basswood, laser board or polyback, and some 3D printed stuff. And here's a little cabinet that's going together.
Oh, hey, that's a cool idea, putting that basically cube together, eh?
Yeah, basically you put the sides all together, and then the Duralar is etched just around these corners, around the four corners, so it kind of lays out flat, and you bend them all down, slide it in, and then put the lid on it.
Oh, is that ever cool?
Gives you a nice little cabinet.
And what scale is that?
This is all HO.
Wow.
We'll do it no scale. We'll do it in horribly oversized as well. But
That's outstanding.
so that's the cabinet. And then decided to make some refrigeration units with little beer cans in them, and all the items inside are individual. And there's double glass doors. They don't slide open, but I thought about it after. I could have made them slide open.
So what are you doing for a hobby?
Yeah, find this stuff and realize how hard it is to make.
Hey, that's sharp though. Oh, I love the Coke machine.
Yeah, that's a new version. We do an older version as well, but we did it, and then I decided, well, there's got to be an easy way to light it. So we laser cut the channels in the inside. That's laser board. It's all layered up. So even where the pop bottles go is in a different layer, and then you open the door, put the glass in, and then the LED goes inside. And same with the telephone booth.
Are they on the website?
No, not yet. This is all coming together in a new kit we'll have ready for the new year. So
Are you going to sell those separately, those pieces?
yeah, of course. I was thinking I'll just do it with the kit, but I showed it to a few people and everyone's, oh, you got to sell those separately. Of course we do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Refresh our memory. What's the name of your company?
Oh, sorry. It's interactionhobbies.com.
That's what I thought.
In beautiful British Columbia.
Yep.
Yep.
So that'll come together quite nicely. And actually, the interest in the LEDs, we designed them so you can put those micro LEDs in really easily in them. And then by putting the LED upside down in the phone booth, so facing the lens facing upwards, it didn't over brighten the phone booth, and we put out perfect lighting for the telephone on top. And that telephone is not, I was going to do it in a decal, but I just did that in paper. Laser printed paper, cut it out, and lights up beautifully from behind.
Hey, Daryl, with this group, you have to, we call it decal. You have to give them the American decal.
Oh yes, the decal.
Decal.
Well, not only that, also instead of calling it a telephone booth, call it the Superman's changing room.
Yeah, there you go. And then I decided I had to do pop crates and pop bottles to go with it. So,
oh Jesus, those are fantastic.
The longest time it takes is to put each individual bottle in the crate.
Well, the hard part is drinking them all.
Yeah, it's true. Trying to get the bottle cap off too.
The straw is awful small.
Those look fantastic.
So here, I still haven't figured out a way to light the globe, because I'd like to figure out a way to light the lens in the where you get the gas meter, as well as the globe, but it turned out pretty good. And I also found a great way. I ran out of decal set, and I thought, what can I use? So I remember the smell of decal set. It was very close to, because everyone sniffs glue and things if you're a virgin. And I found that Tester's liquid cement mixed with alcohol works really well for decal set. It just laid that decal down flat, but if you touch it before it's gone, it just dissolves it. But
yeah,
it worked really well.
Is that one piece?
No, that's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 11 pieces there.
Oh.
So the center core is 2 pieces of mat board. And then by doing this, sanding the edges, you get a much nicer finish. I mean, you could do this all as a casting, but you don't get those nice clean lines. And a lot of times the pumps, these different panels, the outside panels are a different color. So this gives you the opportunity to paint it for premium or ethyl or super.
That's beautiful.
So the center's partially hollow?
So the center core is made out of fiberboard, or just mat board. And then all the other outer panels are made from polyback, or what they call laser board.
That is fantastic.
You could run some lighting up the center if you wanted to.
Yeah, that's kind of the plan. Is I think I might be able to make that globe in the center section out of 3D printed clear material, clear resin.
Yeah, yeah.
And then put the stock. I'll probably try that in the O scale one first.
Goody.
Oh, I like that.
Gotta have
The
the
scale
globe.
one
Gotta have
first.
the
I
globe.
like that.
It was also my introduction to APCO gas. I'd never heard of them before. So
Let's get super test in there.
Yeah, it's actually, they also had white.
In the center core, if you just ran a channel up there for to get the wiring up there. Or a
Yeah,
little
because,
more.
but you want to light the globe, and I want to be able to light the face.
It has to be clear material to do that.
So we'll
That
figure
is
it out.
cool. That is really cool. Though. And I
Fiber
like that too. I love.
Yeah, and it didn't
It's
show
like
up as
the real
well.
thing.
Didn't show up as well in the picture, but the door is a laser cut door. And then I actually photoshopped the checkered, I don't know if you remember, it's a quilted steel panel, those doors, they're stainless steel.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I took a picture of a real one that's quilted, and I should take another picture of this. You can see it square on, but you can actually see, and that decal goes on top.
You say decal, they get it now.
So
Yeah.
those
are
Nice.
those are
We're learning to be bilingual and understand some Canadian down here.
And,
Yeah,
and when is that ice chest going to be available?
Oh, pretty close. Sometime in the early new year. So I just got to get it together. I've got another guy doing a beta build to make sure he corrects all my instructions, and then we'll get it out the door sometime in January.
I know another guy who would do a beta build for you.
Yeah. Well, the reason that I'm really interested in it is for the show on Saturday, I'm thinking of trying to push towards a ice manufacturing company as the first model. So that's something that, quite frankly, is on the drawing. So that's why I'm real interested in it.
And other than the grill, it would be pretty easy to scratch build too, if you wanted to.
Yeah, but it
still.
allows what I'm saying is it allows me to go both directions with it in the show. So
Right. Yep. Well,
great part. Just excellent work all the way around. It's
if you
amazing
get in
work.
touch with us, we'll help you
That's
guys
cool.
out wherever we can.
Making my mouth water.
The storefront you show, is that going to be an O scale?
Yeah, that'll come out no scale as well. So
The,
I
uh,
really,
the
I
the
really
name and
love.
sign up there, is that just a mock-up for now, or is that how it's going to be printed, or?
that is the one that was, I made this as the store in Coger, Oklahoma, which was in the movie Rain Man. Because while I was thinking of Clark 2 weeks ago, Rain Man came to my mind.
Rain
Uh,
I'm not so sure if that's good. You know what I
But-
really love?
I didn't know it's going to be
I love the push bars on that on those doors.
screen doors.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing, what makes those look so good is just a photocopied paper is cut out, but you gotta line the edges of them.
Right.
Cut out a lot of pieces, but I just line the edge with a red felt pen. So it just gives it a nice 3D. It doesn't look like a piece of paper anymore.
Right.
What do you use for the screen material?
We use for this screen, it's still a little bit oversized, but it's the smallest you can get. It's silk screening material. So if you can buy it on Amazon, it's used for the old silk screeners that you made silk screen t-shirts. So if you put in silk screen mesh, I think it is, there's various, this is the finest one I could find. And it's, I think I bought 2 yards and it was $8. So it'll build 1,000 kits for us.
All right, just we're gonna sort of end the taped after show at this point with that great point, and we'll continue on here on Zoom, but the after show on YouTube will end. If you want to continue enjoying the after show, you can come on back and sign up to New Tracks Ahead on the Zoom site. And we'd love to have you on the after show maybe next week. All right, so Phil, I think you're looking after the recording for YouTube. You can end that if you'd like.
I think he just went to supper.
Oh, okay. And for everybody out there, Happy New Year. Maybe I can end it. Stop live streaming.
Yeah, you are the host.
Oh, I wish people would tell me this. Okay, I think we've ended the live streaming, I hope. Ed, can you confirm?
Let me double check. Let's see. There's a 30-second delay, so
Okay.
Mine says it's still recording.
well, there's a difference between recording and live. So you can also, I don't know if you want to stop the recording also, but
I'm gonna stop the recording in a minute. Yep.
well, it looks like I've gotten the pause circle.
Okay. And we'll stop the recording as well. So that'll be the end of the show as a recording. We will continue on here in the after show. Woohoo!